What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Boleros. I'm here with Gab and Maui. Say hi, guys.
Welcome back.
Yay!
Lapit na UAAP.
Okay, we're back. Malapit na ang UAAP. Confirmed. We now have a date. It's September 30, the start of the UAAP season. So, we're going to continue our UAAP content up to September 30. But before that, before we talk about the topic for today, it's Sunday, September 17. We just want to do a quick shout out to all the UAAP players and all the draft applicants that got drafted in the PBA today. Congratulations to all of you. Looking forward to what you will bring to the table. No? So marami tayong mga UAAP players that we've talked about that got drafted sa PBA draft na to, which I think is like, if not the biggest, one of the biggest draft pools in history. So that's that. Let's move on
Congrats.
to our UAAP content.
I guess.
Go, Gab.
Congrats. Yun lang, I guess.
Let's move
Congrats.
on to our UAAP content. Gab, since sige, what are we talking about today?
So today we are going to talk about the biggest question or storyline for each UAAP team. So we're gonna split it into two parts, two episodes. So we're gonna tackle 4 teams today and then 4 teams in our next episode. Sam, who are the 4 teams that we are gonna tackle today?
So for today, we are going to talk about UP, UST, UE, and NU. Okay? And to start us off, Maui, why don't you start us with UP? Ano yung biggest question mo for UP or most intriguing storyline for this coming season?
I think yung biggest storyline we would like to see sa UP is how they will integrate all the talent in the lineup. I'm very curious to see how LeBron Lopez will be utilized. If you watched him in Gilas, they were not sure what position they were gonna play him. Is he gonna play the 2? Is he gonna play the 3, the 4? I think in the UAAP, he'll most probably play the 4 and we'll probably see a lot of thunderous highlight dunks from LeBron Lopez. But yeah, hopefully, really with UP, it's really about how to integrate all the talent. Will this be like a classic LaSalle from previous seasons where they have had too much talent and couldn't really make up the chemistry, or will Coach Gold be able to work his magic and integrate all of these talents? If you watch UP this offseason, or if you've been following them, they had their last string of exhibition games, I think, in Korea, and they went 3-1, I think, versus top Korean teams, yung sa KBL. So I wouldn't be surprised if UP will be the front runner again for this season, the favorites to win the title. Malik Diouf is definitely by far and away the best foreign student athlete this season. So we'll see.
Okay.
Gab?
I guess it's my turn. My question is very similar to Maui, but in a different twist to it. My question was actually who will get left out in the rotation sa UP. Kasi yun the most intriguing sa akin. Kasi whoever gets left out is most probably gonna change schools.
Transfer to a UAAP
Yes.
or an NCAA team.
Yeah,
So
that's
nakita
my
na
most
natin
intriguing.
yun, di ba? Marami nang nag-transfer actually. Mostly to NCAA.
Yep. And I think it's going to be the same story again this year. And it's going to be a pretty big story since a lot of their players are high profile and talented recruits. Even from 1 or 2 years ago pa, not even as freshmen. So whoever gets left out of the rotation, and someone will get left out of it and even get left out of the lineup. Diba?
Madami pang padating.
Who knows? Yeah, and there are more talent on the way. So whoever gets left out is definitely going to be thinking about going elsewhere. So that's the most intriguing part for me for UP. I'm not hating, just saying it's a real problem that they have.
It's a very good problem in my opinion.
Yeah, it's a very good problem, but it's still a problem, diba? We
Yeah.
talked about in our lock maybe or not, si Seven Gagate i, yung ika-cut natin. And diba, if he gets cut, I think he might be looking elsewhere. But we'll see, no? It's for me it's very intriguing talaga how they really play with each other, how they get playing time for each of their stars, because actually they're all kind of stars already. But yeah, that's the most intriguing part for UP. Sammy.
Mine is pretty simple, but I like your question also, Gab and Maui. Intriguing yon. We've talked about it. If you haven't seen that episode, panoorin nyo yon kung sino yung luck maybe or na namin for the UP Fighting Maroons. My question is simple. Who can beat UP? That's the question for me kasi for me, I think UP is the favorite for this season. I'm picking them as the favorite to win the championship. Just because they have a good mix of players this year. Sabi nyo nga, a big problem is yung ang dami nilang talented players, no? But when it comes to like the veterans, they still have the best import in Malik Diouf. They still have JD Kalugulangan, one of the best point guards, especially if Jerome Lastimosa's out. Fortsky Padrigao is out. I think it's really between like Kagulangan and probably Evan Nele and maybe Nick Cabanyero. Really, those
And
three
LJ
are like that.
Gonzalez.
Okay, pwede. LJ Gonzalez, yeah. But definitely JD, no, I would say is like really up there. Um, and then you have obviously Coach Gold, but you also have like really intriguing players in like favorite natin pag-usapan, sina Belmonte, Torculas. These aren't rookies. These are guys that have been part of the UP system for the past few seasons. It's just they haven't gotten playing time. And kita natin sa preseason, they're getting the playing time now, especially since a lot
and
of their bigs
and
left.
they're good. They're
And they're good.
good.
They're scary good. And the
They're
results have
good.
been good so far. Maui, you mentioned the international competition. They also won mga preseason leagues that ano yung napanalunan nila ulit? Nakalimutan. Phil Oil. Tama ba? Phil Oil yung napanalunan nila.
Yep, they won Phil Oil.
And they've been very competitive in the other preseason tournament. So I think for me, they have to be the number one. At least if may power ranking tayo, diba? I think it would be UP. So who
Spoiler
can beat
alert,
UP? That's
spoiler
my
alert.
question.
Watch out for our
Okay.
power rankings.
Spoiler alert. Oo nga. Spoiler alert. Okay, let's move on. So, we talked about UP. I went with UP first because alam natin, one of the favorites yan. Let's talk about someone that wasn't in the final for last year. Let's talk about UE. Gab, I'm going to you first because alam ko may favorite
Your
player ka
favorite
dito.
team from season 85.
And your favorite team from last season. What's the biggest question for UE this season?
Well, they're not my favorite team anymore because my question for them is how many games are they going to win? Are they going to be kept out of the cellar of the UAAP? Because we talked about this in one of our last episodes, one of our latest episodes, that Ray Mogat is probably gonna put up a lot of numbers along with Delvin Jackson. But other than the two of them, there is not much talent or production gonna be found elsewhere in this team. At least from what we saw in the preseason, no, very rough yung the rest of their roster. The Dumont Cruz brothers were hyped, but they don't seem like game changers to me. So for me, the question really is talagang how many games are they gonna win? One, two, maybe you can stretch it to 4 or 5 games if they surprise like last season, play fast pace, but other than that, I don't see them fighting for a Final Four slot this season. Weirdly enough, after a bright season 85, they're now back to rebuilding because a lot of their key guys left, and It's sad for me, but yeah, how many wins are they gonna win? Uh, Very little, in my opinion. Maui or Sam?
Maui.
Yeah, I think for me talaga yung biggest blow ng UE from last season is not even the Paranadas but really Luis Villegas. Congratulations to him for being the third pick in the PBA draft. Hopefully he gets his FIBA eligibility and then in the future he might go elsewhere, probably in Japan or in Korea. But I'm excited for him
Get well
for Gilas.
soon
Hopefully.
also.
Get well soon
Get
to
well
Luis
soon.
Villegas. Yeah, but for me, I think yung biggest question for me ng UE Red War aside from what Gab mentioned is, will there be more drama this coming season? I think if you've been watching UE this past season, they had a very good season. I mean, in comparison to season 84, it should have been a jumping board to a better season 86 or 87, but it's been a very tumultuous off season. Coach Jack Santiago again is in the spotlight now because of some of the comments of his players. But yeah, I think we'll see what happens with UE. But I think just like Gab, I'm not very optimistic. Will they be able to beat UST's record of 1-13 last season? Maybe they win the opening day and then lose the next 13 games like USC. I don't know, but yeah, I think with UE it's really about right now. It's a two-man show. It's like the old school UE of Sumang and Charles Mami. And we've seen in the past that this does not work anymore in the UAAP. You have to have multiple players contribute. Um, but I'm excited for Ray Mogat. I really enjoyed watching how he plays basketball. I think he has a very bright future. Hopefully, this season will be a springboard for him to better opportunities, possibly abroad. How about you, Sam?
Good question, Maui. Good question. Actually, I had a similar question or storyline. Para sa akin, yung question is, who will go first? Coach Jack or si Remogan? And si Remogoat. And I ask this kasi I think we've talked about
That's
this
a
in
good
a
question.
so kind of similar to what you mentioned, Maui, no? So I asked this because we talked about this in a previous episode, Gab. Sobrang dami ng naging issues sa UE team and it has been, despite si Coach Jack really leading this team to a very successful season last season, marami ding issues that are linked to him, diba? Like players complaining. And well, some players haven't really complained about him but have left. Their star players have left for other teams. So sa akin, if they don't perform this season, will they get rid of Coach Jack? Or baka mamaya if they don't perform and si Remo Goat becomes like an mythical 5 level player, baka ma-pirate na yan, di ba? So by next season, if they're not performing, tapos sayang naman yung talents niya doon, di ba? So that's my question. Kind of similar to Maui, I guess. Is there going to be more drama for UE this season? Um, Hopefully they maintain yung competitive edge nila because we want a competitive season. Last season, I would say we really enjoyed it because it was really competitive, but it's not looking good for UE so far this coming season.
Not looking good at all.
Not looking good. Let's move on to another team that made it to the final for last season. And one always like they're always a dark horse pick. Let's talk about the NU Bulldogs. Maui. Anong biggest question mo dito sa NU?
Ako yung biggest question ko sa inyo is will they be able to catapult themselves into the finals for this season? I think last year they were the underdog mostly the whole season. The question is will they be able to elevate it to another level to a championship contender? If you watch yung first few games ng UAP, probably first 10 years, I think they were number 1 or number 2. Getting the twice to beat advantage in the UAP is the best thing that you can do if you want to get to the finals. And I think that should be NU's goal for this season. The question is, will they be able to elevate their game? John Lloyd Clemente was just drafted in the to the PBA, and you have to wonder if the other wing players will step up and bring something to the plate. We know that Omar John will contribute the way Omar John contributes. We know that the guards will be there. The three-headed minion next season will be exciting. But the question is, will the wing players step up? Will Figueroa step up? So really, it's really about, my curiosity is really if they can elevate it into a championship contender team, not just that underdog team that surprised everyone. Yeah.
Okay, good question, Maui. Mine was kind of similar, so isingit ko na lang yung akin dito. Can they make it to the top 2 is my question. So parang basically same as Maui, can they take it to the next level? I think with NU, we've always picked them as a dark horse pick for the finals or the championship. But always falling short. You've pretty much covered everything, Maui. So but I think with their team this year, there's really, and continuity of, obviously there's really like potential for NU. But the question is kasi, 'di ba? Obviously, dalawa lang naman ang teams na magta-top 2 and dalawa lang naman ang teams na magfa-finals. You still have UP, which for me is the favorite. You have to put Ateneo there because they're defending champs, and you have a revamped LaSalle. So there are really, as of now, like 4 teams that we're looking at. So can NU make the cut this year? So same as Maui. Gab?
Connected to what the both of you discussed, but mine's more specific. Who is gonna be their second go-to guy? That was the problem. Has been the problem for the longest time for NU since the start of season 85 when they lost Felicilda and Torres. They've relied mostly on the Kian Baklaan, the rookie, to be their go-to guy, especially in the clutch. No, Steve Nash to a lesser degree, but he's not that efficient. Yung creating his own shot and getting buckets. Hopefully, he evolves into that player, but I doubt it. My pick for this. I think you guys are very familiar with my
I
pick for
know.
this. I
Alam
think
na
it
namin
has
yan.
to be PJ Palacelo. I am still Jeff Napa.
Yo,
If you're
boy.
watching this, my boy, Jeff Napa, you have a star in the making in PJ Palacelo. Get this guy more minutes, not just as the backup Omar John. Run plays through this guy. This guy is legit. I love this guy. I think this guy has a bright future. But if they're still gonna force him to be the backup center to Omar John, who else is gonna step up on the offense? Is it gonna be Jake Figueroa? I think of all of their wings, he has more skills, more tools to become that scorer, yung ball handling type player, the guy who makes plays for others. We've seen him do it in spots in the past, but hasn't really put it all together. But yeah, it has to be someone else other than Kian Baklan, taking charge of the offense in the clutch. Because, diba, it's over and over. Yun yung nangyayari sa NU eh. They come close to beating the likes of LaSalle or most notably UP. But in the fourth quarter, when UP locks down on defense, they just focus on one player, and that's Kian Baklan, because they know the ball is going to him. And has to be someone else. It has to be someone else. I'm hopeful for Reinhard Tumamoy to possibly step up even as a rookie. I mean, Kim Baklaan was a rookie last season and he stepped up. So maybe Reinhard Tumamoy can do the same. I mean, in the preseason, we also know this guy, it doesn't matter that he's a freshman. Yeah, he has balls. He will take the shot. He will make plays. He will make risky passes. So whoever it's gonna be, that's gonna be the key for NU to make the finals and even win the championship. I think they're there. I mean, I think we all three of us agree they're on the precipice. They're on the precipice of being a contender and winning a title. So let's see. It's gonna be fun to watch NU. I love watching NU games for some reason. They're always close.
They always compete no? Yun yung maganda sa NU. They compete and they play hard. Okay. So, we're down to 3 teams. We're down to our last team for the first part of this episode. Our last team for this episode is the UST Growling Tigers. Probably the most intriguing team in the UAAP. So, Maui, I'm curious to know, ano yung question mo for UST? Because I have a million. I have a million questions. Go ahead, Maui.
I have a million.
To be honest, what will we see out of UST? Yun na lang talaga ang question ko. This whole off season, we've been waiting and waiting and waiting just to get a glimpse of what will happen with UST now that Coach Pido has returned. But it's been in and out of players. Players have been coming by and out, in and out, in and out. So I'm not actually 100% sure who will make the roster. Probably I'm just si Caballero lang siguro talaga yung guaranteed, and probably SJ Moore. And then right now I'm not really sure what to expect, especially dun sa players that were from abroad, yung mga Phil-Am players, because UST really recruited a ton of players everywhere. So really, will they be a contender? Will they be a Final Four team? But this is classic Pido Horencio. We don't see a glimpse of the team, and then gulatan na lang come season, UAP season. But I'm excited to see UST. Will it be a wing-heavy lineup? Just like the classic Pido Horencio lineups from the early 2000s. I'm excited. You guys know I love wing players. I love positionless basketball. UST is definitely a team to watch out for when it comes to this type of basketball. Now that Pido Horencio has returned into the helm.
Gab?
Well, ako, yung marami yung questions. Similar to what Maui, how are they going to play? Are they going to play slow? Are they going to play Nick Cabanero at point guard? And then put some wing players, maybe some SJ Moore, Mark Lemet on the wings, Royce Mantua as a shooter. Who will be their foreign student athlete? I think this offseason they recruited like 3 or 2. Plus they have yung Adama Faye. I don't know if he's still there, but he was their foreign student athlete last season. So is he going to be the one? That's one of my questions. Who's going to be the second star for UST? We all know that Nick Cabanero is going to be their main guy. But who's going to be their second star? And I think Nick Cabanero also wants a second star. I mean, he was very frustrated last year. I mean, he could not rely on anyone else.
After the game.
Wasak yung jersey, umiiyak siya down on the floor. The guy just wants to win. Just give him some teammates, man. So, who's going to be the second and maybe third star to carry the offense? It looks like SJ Moore from the highlights in high school. SJ Moore seems to have a lot of tools, to be a contributing offensive player. But who knows, no? Connected to my question about Nick Cabanero being the point guard, are there going to be other point guards on this team that are going to step up? Because last year, that was a position that was very weak for their team. Paulo Manalang, was it Paulo Manalang? Was one of the Manalang brothers was steady, but didn't really contribute much. Their senior, si Garing, when he graduated, we all didn't care because he didn't really play a role. So who's gonna be their point guard? I mean, they recruited a few. I think Matthew Rubico. I think he's in UST, diba? Yeah, yung Matthew Rubico, they recruited yung kapatid ni
Melesio. Aljun Melesio.
Yes, yung
Lasal si Rubico.
Kapatid ni Aljun. Ayun, okay, sorry. So si Melesio pala. Yung kapatid ni Aljon yun nandun. So, who also plays as a point guard. So, uh, just so many questions. I'm very interested. I'm going to tune into their first game. I think the two of you will also tune in. I want to watch them. I want to watch them play. I want to watch who they play. I want to watch how they look. Kani Sam, sabi nga ni Sam, they're so
Sila ata
intriguing.
opening
They're so
game.
intriguing.
Sila ata opening game. I think UST is the opening game. So let's see.
Then
Okay.
I'm tuning in for that one.
September 30. Can't wait to watch that.
You can finally
Okay,
watch
so
UST.
yeah, so Gab, marami tayong questions for UST. As I mentioned, UST I think is the most intriguing team. Marami din akong questions. Who will make the final team, 'di ba? Kasi hindi nga natin alam yung mga players nila. And one of the most important ones is, will we see Team Kalbo? Actually, hindi. Nakita na nga, nag-shave na nga sila ng head, 'di ba? Tama ba?
Meron na! Their team Kalbo.
Meron na nga pala. Meron
We've
na pala.
confirmed
Tama,
this.
mali. Confirmed na. May
classic
photo.
Pido Harencio.
Classic Pido Harencio. But actually, I wanted a clickbait question for this one. Will UST repeat 2006 and win the surprise us and win the championship again? I think, correct me if I'm wrong, Maui, nung first year din ni Pido sila nag-champion, no? Last time.
Yes.
And that was
Ganyan
also
din.
like, that was also like a very surprising team to everyone. Si Jervy Cruz, who ended up being like the MVP star of that team. Nobody expected him to do that well, diba? But so this time, it's Pido's first year again. They have a star already in Nick Caballero. They have a lot of recruits, hindi lang natin kilala talaga lahat, but you guys mentioned of some of the names. So where will UST be in like the rankings or in terms of compared to the other teams? It's really a big question mark to me. Kasi wala talaga tayong alam. Wala akong alam. So I find it very intriguing, but again, the last time Coach Pido entered UST and coached the team, he brought them to the championship. So, meron siyang experience. Nakakatakot na secretly lang sila nagpa-practice kasi they can surprise everyone din. But yeah. Ending it there with the most intriguing teams. Gab, anything else you want to say before we say goodbye? All right.
Nope.
So
But
stay tuned.
you made a good point lang, Sam, na UST can go anywhere. Actually, can they be a Final Four team? They can also be so bad that they're a cellar dweller as well with UE.
Yeah.
So, we don't know.
Pwede.
Grabe yung range
Talagang
nila.
big question mark.
Potential range.
Oh.
You really don't know where they are, where they will be come Final Four time.
And Maui, I think ikaw yung nag-point out nito. They were a bad team nung 2006 when they won the championship. I think they were really bad nung first half
First
of the
round.
season, diba? Or
I think
first
they were
round.
last. They were one of the last. 2-4 ata sila ng first round. And then they went 4-2
exactly.
second round and just catapulted to the championship.
So even if we see UST and they're in last place sa first round, you never know. So ang laki talagang question mark ng UST for me.
Yeah. But the pressure is there for Pido.
Yeah.
Right now. Kasi it's not like 2006. It's a different ball game. UST has been a cellar dweller team since probably Jerick Teng's day, Kevin Ferrer's.
O yung nag-finals naman sila with Alden Ayo.
Kay Alden
Ayo. Sorry.
Yeah,
Alden Ayo. I forgot about that. Alden Ayo has been all around. But yes, they've been a very bad team. Without that Alden Ayo 2 seasons, they've been very bad since probably
outlier lang siya.
Yeah, outlier.
Okay. That's it for our first part. If you guys have any comments or questions for the first 4 teams that we tackled, share them down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe so that you can get notified and ring the notification icon so that you can get notified when our part 2 of this episode comes out. Okay? See you guys. Bye-bye.